Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Triumph Nexus 30T motorhome. You guys have picked a beautiful unit here. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite and a few things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, you're going to want to leave plenty of room for this awning to come in and out. Over on your off campsite, we'll have it out shortly, but I also want you to think about leaving room for that big slide to come out. And then lastly, I also want you to think about where your power and water connection is going to be. Your power cord, all the way back here in the rear corner. And then your docking station is right above your tire on your driver's side of your tow vehicle or your off campsite. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive, get yourself nice and level somewhere. We're going to go ahead and hook up your power and water. So power cord stores back here in this rear docking station here, a rear storage area. 30 amp cord. At the end of that 30 amp cord, should you need to, plug into a 110. In your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Get that plugged in, and we can hook up our power and water. Excuse me, get our water going. Your docking station again here is on the right. Here's where you're gonna put your water in. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is gonna reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use one of these. Hook that up, and if we're at a campsite, we are going to turn to city water fixtures, which is gonna turn to our left there. Or to our right, hooked up to city water fixtures. Before turning on that hose, let's find your hot water heater. Down here on the side is your hot water heater. And all we're doing at this point, folks, make sure your drain plug's in. Get that cap back on there nice and tight. Do this like 1/8 inch. Get that on there nice and snug. Once that's on there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now if that hose has been on for a few minutes, we're going to go inside. We're going to open up this slide. Open up the slide. Go to all your water taps. Turn on your water taps. Get all the air out of the lines. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Then you can shut them off. Come outside. Lift up on this pressure release valve. If hot water comes out of there, then you know your hot water heater is full, and you can turn that on from indoors as well. So let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to go to a campsite. We're going to go dry camping or just unplug and go somewhere. In that case, we have a two-step process. We're going to start by turning this to tank fill. Hook up your hose, water pressure regulator again. Now there's two ways to tell when that tank is full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or two on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a button to check for your fresh water tank. Once that shows full, go ahead and remove this hose. Then you're going to turn this to dry camping. And then whenever you want to utilize the water out of that tank, you will turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. Bring this back to winterized for you. We're all set up to camp now. I'm going to go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Continuing out here on the outside real quick. This is a hot and cold shower. Your 751 key will open that up. Again, our docking station. Here's where you fuel up. Here's where you plug in the cable at the campsites. This rear storage here is going to be our handles to pull for our black and gray tanks when we dump and leave the campsite. Also a fresh water drain and low point drains. Again, back here, you can run that power cord down through this hose hole here, and you can keep that closed up. Continuing up off campsite, again, our hot water heater. Underneath here is our generator. We'll go inside and we'll start that up here for you shortly. Battery boxes over here. And lastly, a air compressor with hose and spray hose there for that. Continuing over on our campsite, we've got storage. We've got our propane, more storage. Above that is a flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. And two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear. That gets hot. Back here, we got a couple of 110s. So you plug into the crock pot outside. And lastly, back here is some more storage. Oh, you got a porch light here. Our big awning. That about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. So coming up in your unit, immediately to the left is going to be your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. To the right of that is your fire extinguisher. When you're camping, make sure that everyone knows where the fire extinguisher is in case of an emergency. It's always by the entry doorway. Living room lights, porch light. This light up top here is going to be our awning light. And then our awning. I'll run that out here for you shortly as well. Continuing up into the unit, all the way up on my left is a max air vent control. Turn that on. Turn on the vent. Vent will open and turn on for you at the same time. You can change the vent speed, etc., or the fan speed, etc. Not just to shut it off, it will close and shut itself off. Down below here is our control panel. So here's where we check the propane, battery, fresh, black, and gray tanks. The freshwater buttons, one I said you can hold down when filling your potable water tank. Over here's where we stop our generator. Here's where you turn on your water pump if using potable water. Water heater if using gas here, and electric here. So turn on your water heater over here, electric or gas. It does make a difference. Choose correctly. More lighting. And then our slide control. Just gonna press out. See how quickly that slide opens up. Again, make sure everything's clear outside when you open up those slides. Smoke alarm right above your door. Don't forget to change batteries every now and then. Lots of storage here. Alright, coming in the living room here, we got a light we can turn on. Power recline. Charging station. Show you this one reclining as well. Put that back. That light and USB chargers working. You got a bunk up here as well. Fold this down. You can hold another sleeping quarters up top. This TV is on a big swivel and you can swing it around for the living room. Just push it back into the corner, back up against the wall when you travel. Just travels a little safer there. Got another Nexus television inside the bedroom. When you arrive at the campsites, go into your menu and run a digital channel scan, and that will allow you to pick up all the local channels. Continuing in the living room, you can lift this up off the wall. It'll come down and sit down on this wood piece. Put your back cushions on top, another sleeping quarters. Emergency exit window. Storage here. These here as well as here are access panels to your plumbing. There's your bypass. Just keep an eye on your plumbing. Make sure nothing wiggles loose going down the road over time. You do have a light and a high and low fan above your cooktop here. Let's just touch something to get it going. Start. Well, you want me to set the clock and everything, but turntable, on off light. Again, fan, oh, turn the light back on. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Turn this to light, hit your spark. And there's all those working. Turning the corner here. We'll come over to your Whirlpool fridge real quick. Controls for the freezer are in your freezer, and the ones for your fridge are in your fridge. This is a lock. Keep your fridge closed during travel. I'll get a nice pull-out pantry. Hidden pantry here. And our thermostat's on the wall. Red button, let's turn that on. Go to our top screen here and make that AC. 62, 66, that can crank your AC up. Your AC also has a quick dump. Open that up, that'll dump all your cold air down here quick. You can shut the AC off. Make it heat now. And turn on our thermostat. That heat should kick out here now. But what you'll notice is when I shut the heat off, the heat tends to shut off quicker. Or it tends to there it goes. Now when I shut this heat off, it's on furnace to shut that off, it takes a few minutes for the heat fan to cycle through before it actually shuts off compared to the AC shutting off so quickly. And you can just do regular fans as well. Coming up into our bathroom, a couple things to mention here. You got 110 with GFCI reset. More plumbing to maintain. I mean, you do at home, keep an eye on it. This is your traveling home. You have a hand crank open exhaust vent up here. Make sure that you crank it closed for travel. Over accent lights, tons of lights in that room. Come back to our bedroom. Here's our lighting for the hall. And in our bedroom, got another remote to turn this TV on. While it's coming on, show you more lights so you can shut off after you're in bed. Emergency escape window. Grab this and pull it towards you. That'll pull that screen out of there. Push this out. You can climb out in case of emergency. Another hand crank open air vent here. There's your TV. Again, when you arrive at campsites, run your digital channel scans. Looks like we got an extra fire extinguisher back here in this bedroom. And storage underneath here. Allows access to your fresh water tank and your water pump and water filter. Everything you need to get to bypass to winterize. I think that about covers everything in here. Let's act like we're getting ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. See, that heat just shut off, so that ran maybe 2 minutes extra long before it shut off. Alright, traveling. We're going to flip this forward. You get down here and here, you have all your basic Ford set up down here. Nothing unique to this setup. So, doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Bringing down our glass tops. All of our vents are closed in the bathrooms. Vent out here as well. Nothing's going to impede our slides from coming in. Come here and just press in. That's going to run everything in here. I didn't mention the pop-up charger port here on the back here. Once this gets the rest of the way in, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this power station, you can pull it up out of here and use it for a charging port. Now, shut off my lights, living room lights, and as I exit, I'm going to shut off this battery disconnect, and that's going to shut off all the power in the unit. Alright, a couple quick things here. On your awning, you only want to run that awning out until you can see that brown bar and your flap has fallen down to 90 degrees. If you hold that out button down, that will continue to run itself out and start to run itself up backwards. So be careful when you run it out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. I'm gonna run that the rest of the way back in here. As I do, I'm also going to step up and turn on your generator for you here one time. Yeah, we're just going to go up top here, press start, hold that in for about 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds, and she cranked up. Head over and show you that real quick. Use the water to wash your unit. You can also shut that off out here. Turn these knobs. Turn that off indoors or outdoors. Again, once you got that back on, turn these knobs down. That'll lock that back there on here for you. For our boondocking, come over here in the storage right behind your tire here. We're going to open up this freshwater drain all the way at the right. Head on home. If we are at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable. Head on up to the dump station and park accordingly. The dump's going to be right behind your tires on your off camp side. Get there, arrive. Got a 10-foot hose here. Take that, hook it up on here, put the other end in the dump, reach up in there and pull your black handle. That's gonna be the one on the left. That's gonna be your sewage. When it sounds like that's empty, go inside, check your black tank, see if it's empty or not. If it is, come back out here, close that up, and pull our gray tank. Usually while my grays are draining, I'll go ahead and dump my low point drains. I'm done camping for the season. We'll come over here and lift up on this pressure release valve. Be careful, hot water is going to come out of there. When it does, flip that back down, pull your drain plug, come back over, make sure your freshwater or your low point drains are done. If your gray is done dumping, look inside, make sure that's empty. Close that gray, take your sewage hose, store it in a nice, convenient, and sanitary place, and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Triumph for many years to come. Happy camping.